There are a lot of rhythm games out there, but what defines a rhythm game? I asked this question because I've always thought that Tetris was actually kind of similar in a lot of ways. I mean, as music playing, you're hitting buttons very fast if you aren't me. Wait, how do I turn the piece? And most of all, it has a pretty much unlimited skill ceiling. These are all traits that pretty much every rhythm game has, but even with all that said, I probably wouldn't call Tetris a rhythm game, since you aren't actually required to time your inputs to anything, and the music has no direct correlation to the gameplay. In fact, if you wanted, you could just turn it off and listen to something completely different while playing, which isn't very rhythm game-like. In conclusion, I would compare Tetris to a game more like Geometry Dash, which other people have also deemed by definition is not really a rhythm game either, although similar. So with all that said, if Tetris isn't a rhythm game, why are so many Osu players so goddamn good at it? Okay, I'll be honest, I can only think of 3, but it's still weird. For example, Emrek, the #1 Osu player in the world, is pretty damn good at Tetris, and he's not alone. The most well-known Osu streamer, BTMC, who's around rank 100 in Osu, plays Tetris on stream sometimes, and he's pretty good as well, but then, well, then we get to Dorebi. If you can't tell, he is really good at Tetris. In fact, to my knowledge, he might be one of the best Tetris players in the world, but I also don't know that much about Tetris, so I could be wrong. Either way though, he's also very, very good at Osu, sitting at around rank 500, which may not be quite as high as someone like BTMC or Emrek, but let me tell you, he has some of the most impressive Osu scores in the game, in my opinion. And side note, I found this out while making this video, but there's a video named Tetris to the Beat on his channel where he's playing alongside the music, which I just think is really funny considering what this video is about. Anyway, with all that said, even if I'm not great at Osu, I would still consider myself good at it, or at least above average. And if you want to disagree, at least I'm top 10,000 in Mania, which is also a rhythm game. So hey, I don't completely suck. Anyway, today I'm here to find out, will playing Osu make me cracked at Tetris? So where to begin? Well, in my life I've probably played Tetris for about 10 to 15 hours, but none of that is on an actual computer, since pretty much all of it was on the Nintendo Switch playing Tetris 99, which I wasn't ever very good at. But with that said, I do tend to be pretty decent at most computer games. I mean, I do play a lot of them, so I might get a bit of a skill boost on keyboard and mouse, you never know. Anyway, my goal for this video is to clear 40 lines in under 1 minute, and if you don't know what that means, well, basically it means clearing a line 40 times. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. The question is though, is sub 1 minute a good time? Well, I don't really know, but it seemed hard enough that I'd have to work towards it a fair amount, but not so hard it would be impossible. So I thought I'd give it a try. On a side note, the world record is 14 seconds. Also, if you're wondering, Doremi's time is like 20 seconds, which I mean is still absolutely insane. But now the real question, what was my time? And the answer, almost 5 minutes. Yo. Yeah, pretty fast, I know. In all seriousness though, that was my first run ever and I didn't even know the controls, so I think I get somewhat of a pass. Luckily, I quickly improved it to around the 2.5 minute mark, and around there is when I really started to struggle to improve. It took me around 45 minutes to get a new best of about 2 minutes flat, and this is where things start to really slow down. I think I played for like another 2 more hours, and after all that, only got to just under 1:45. But it was my first day, and I still wasn't even playing Tetris the right way. I mean, if you're good at Tetris, what you're supposed to be doing is looking at the pieces that are coming ahead of time and planning your moves accordingly. But how I play Tetris is just kind of reacting to the piece I get and going from there, which means I screw myself over a lot. Basically, it was pretty clear that this was something I was going to have to work on if I wanted to improve my time. Don't get me wrong, I also still made a lot of dumb mistakes. But with good progress made on day 1, bringing my time all the way down from about 5 minutes to 1:45, I was excited to play again tomorrow. My goal for today was to try and get a time under 1:30, and oh boy, was that harder than I expected. The fastest way to improve your time is by playing the game a lot. The only problem with that is how you start to get a little burned out. And let me tell you, I have a lot of footage, like over 3 hours of it all in one day. About an hour and a half in, I got a PB of about 1:35, which was pretty cool, and then took a bit of a break since I was tired of playing. Once I came back though, I was realizing that getting a sub-minute 30 time wasn't easy, and honestly, I was starting to realize how hard it would be to get a time under 1 minute, that being the goal of this video. Day 2 taught me something though, and that's that if I play for long enough, I will eventually get a personal best. It's really just a matter of how much time I'm willing to put into trying. Hell yes. Oh my god, finally, man. Sub 130! I was still feeling pretty good about getting that new personal best yesterday and was hoping some of that skill would carry over to today, but unfortunately that didn't really seem to be the case. I had been playing badly all day and making stupid mistakes, so I kind of accepted that I probably wasn't going to get a personal best today, even if it was just by a second or two. But I just kept playing, and after about an hour, despite it going against all my expectations, something pretty cool happened. Dude, I feel like I'm actually Goku right now. Needless to say, that was an insane improvement of 10 seconds faster than my previous personal best, and it came out of absolutely nowhere. I wasn't expecting to PB at all that day, let alone by such a huge amount, and it was awesome to see. But now, there were just a little over 18 seconds standing in between me and getting under a minute. In other words, everything was going great, so then, what exactly went wrong? I have a question for you. Have you ever wanted to give up on something? Maybe stop doing it? Maybe never do it again in your entire life? Because that's how I was starting to feel about Tetris. Here's what my daily Tetris experience looked like. I would play Tetris for about 15 minutes, get annoyed that I wasn't playing well, make a dumb mistake and intentionally end my run because it's destined for failure anyway, and then do that for 1 to 2 more hours before I go to bed and do it all again tomorrow. Meanwhile, the whole time I'm thinking about how the longer it takes for me to do this, the longer it's going to be before I upload a goddamn video, and my upload schedule is already monthly at best, which is the whole reason I rushed the last video out. Sorry, I'm getting a little sidetracked here. The point is, if you couldn't tell by now, I was hitting a wall and getting pretty impatient. But after many fails, my philosophy I had on day 2 seemed to be proving correct. And if I do spend enough time playing, I will indeed eventually get a new personal best. Yay, I PB'd. That's the sound of a broken man. A man who conquered Tetris. Thanks for watching. Oh wait, no, I still have more footage. Okay, enough stupid edits, let's get back on track here. After struggling for 4 days straight to improve my time by just 1 second, it seemed like my hard work was finally paying off and the floodgates of personal bests were opened, as in the coming days I got a lot of them. The day after this I got a 116, then the day after that a 112, after that a 110, and then 4 days later a 107 that lasted until 3 days after that where I got a 106. It was at this point that just 6 short seconds were left between me and a sub 1 minute time. But how short were those seconds really? Well, I would be the one to find out. As I've been inching closer and closer to my goal, I've been devoting more and more time to playing, because at this point, almost 20 days in, I just want to get it over with. Thankfully, keeping with the theme of consistent PBs, today I got one, and let me tell you, this is probably the funniest reaction I've had all video. Oh, PB! Yeah! Yeah, Yeah, I'm not too sure what my thought process was there, but sometimes you just gotta let the demons out, alright? Don't judge me. Anyway, after that PB, I stagnated for a while since my time was getting to the point where I was having trouble beating it because it was so fast. Honestly, I think most of my runs would be decided in the first 20 seconds, since if I made a mistake or just wasn't playing fast enough, then it would pretty much be dead already. This is a good time to talk about PPS, or pieces per second. Basically, it's a good indicator of how fast you're playing, and at this point I really needed it to be at least 1.6 or 1.7, since anything less was just too slow. The problem is that I felt like I didn't have a lot of control over it. Some days I would just wake up and be playing well, and others not so much, but after about 4 days I finally PB'd again. 104? PB by 0.265 improvement. Last PB was 4 days ago. A very small improvement, but an improvement nonetheless. And honestly, I couldn't complain because at this point I'd take anything. Lucky for me though, I wouldn't have to settle for it since just 10 minutes later, this happened. 102, oh my god, I kind of threw, but still, I don't care. That's like so sick. 1 minute and 2 seconds. Almost 2 seconds is all that's standing in between me and a sub 1 minute time. It was starting to feel very possible. In the last 24 days, I went all the way from some idiot who didn't even know how to play the game to this, which was pretty crazy to think about. But what if I told you that in just 3 days from now, I would have accomplished what I set out to do? Oh my god, I don't even want to play anymore, dude. Like, what the fuck? Nice misdrop, bro. Wow. Wow. Why is every move I make so shit, man? God damn. I always have a good run, and then I do something stupid. Yes, 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 dude, yeah, yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. I'm never playing Tetris again. This game fucking sucks ass. Fuck Tetris. To say this video is a big project would be an understatement. I mean, it took about 20 hours and almost a month to just record the damn footage, not to mention the monumental task of writing the script and editing it into an enjoyable 16-minute video with a cohesive timeline of events. Needless to say, it was kind of a lot. Anyway, I started uploading videos on this channel at around the start of 2023, about 9 months ago, and in that time, I pretty much only uploaded videos about OSU. But lately, I've been wanting to try something something a little different, especially since I've been having a hard time coming up with OSU video ideas. Hell, even my last video about OSU laser mods was very similar to a video Koifiju uploaded about almost the exact same thing, and I didn't even know about it until almost a week after I uploaded my video and then saw his, which honestly just felt kinda bad since I didn't want to copy anyone else's content. The amount of time and work I put into this video is definitely the most out of any so far, and I really did try my best to make it entertaining, even for people who might not care about Tetris or other games outside of OSU. So even though it probably won't get very many views and might disappoint some of my viewers, to the people who did watch it, I hope you liked it. As for the next video, I did say in my last one that I had 2 big projects coming up, and well, this was one of them. I actually still have a few more that have been in the works for a while. I wouldn't count on seeing anything too soon, probably around another month, since I've really been trying to up the overall quality of my stuff, because I just feel like I want to make something that's creatively fulfilling and that I can say I'm proud of making, not just another boring OSU YouTuber. Anyway, I think this outro has been long enough. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time. You know, they should call me the doctor, because I'm giving you your daily dose of good Tetris playing. Oh shit, I missed